Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a moment and imagine something. Imagine the most important project of your life, the one that will shape everything about your future, your success, your happiness, your legacy. Now, here's the catch: that project isn't a business you'll start, a house you'll build, or a dream you'll chase. That project is you. You see, the most critical thing you will ever build, refine, and perfect is yourself. And let's be clear, this project doesn't come with shortcuts. You can't cheat it, buy your way out of it, or hope someone else will do the work for you. It's on you to become the best version of yourself. But let me tell you something powerful: you are not a final product. You are a work in progress. Every single day is another opportunity to refine, rebuild, and improve. The question is, are you willing to do the work? Your greatest project is you. The most critical thing you will ever build, refine, and perfect is yourself. You are the project, the foundation of your future, your happiness, your success. And here's the truth: it's a lifelong commitment. There are no shortcuts, no cheat codes. It's all about putting in the work every single day. The problem is, most people think the real challenge lies in external circumstances, lack of money, difficult situations, or even people standing in their way. But the real battle, the one that truly defines your future, is the one inside you. It's not about waiting for the right moment, the perfect conditions, or someone to hand you an opportunity. The real opportunity lies in the effort you put into yourself. When you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, how can I be better than I was yesterday? Because the key to growth is progress, no matter how small. Every single improvement, no matter how insignificant it might seem, compounds over time. Fixing yourself doesn't mean becoming perfect, it means becoming better, consistently. Start by looking inward. What's holding you back? Is it fear, laziness, doubt? These are not obstacles in your environment, they're obstacles within. The good news, you have the power to break through them. It's about discipline, commitment, and a relentless desire to improve. When you commit to fixing yourself, you stop blaming others for your setbacks. You take ownership of your actions, your thoughts, and your decisions. And when you own your journey, you gain control. That's where the power lies. Too many people spend their lives waiting for external validation, waiting for someone to say, you're good enough or you deserve this, but why wait for someone else to tell you your worth? Fixing yourself means finding that validation within, knowing that you are in control of your progress, your success, and ultimately your destiny. And here's the thing: you don't need to change everything overnight. In fact, that's impossible. Real growth happens in small daily improvements. It's waking up 30 minutes earlier to exercise your body, reading 10 more pages to sharpen your mind, choosing the harder option to build your discipline. Bit by bit, those small actions turn into habits, and those habits will transform your life. Think about it: what would your life look like in 1 year if you started fixing yourself today? What if you focused on your weaknesses, turned them into strengths, and consistently built yourself up? Imagine the doors that would open, the opportunities that would come your way, and the person you would become. The version of you today is only a fraction of what you could be tomorrow, next month, next year. When you make yourself the project, something incredible happens. You realize that no one else is responsible for your success but you. You realize that you have everything you need to build the life you want right inside of you. You just have to unlock it. The journey won't be easy. You will face setbacks, you will doubt yourself, but every great project comes with challenges, doesn't it? Every masterpiece takes time. And in the end, you're not just working on your future, you're building a character. You're strengthening your mind, you're developing resilience, patience, and determination. These are the tools that will carry you through the toughest moments and push you forward when everything seems impossible. You're the project, and every day is another chance to build yourself up brick by brick. So ask yourself, are you willing to do the work? Are you ready to face the hardest truth of all, that the only thing holding you back is the person staring back at you in the mirror? This is your life, your journey, your project. And the time to start fixing yourself is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you'll see the results. And remember, the greatest project you'll ever work on is you. Fall forward, embracing failure to grow. failure. It's a word we've been conditioned to fear, a state we've been taught to avoid at all costs. From a young age, we're told that failure is something to be ashamed of, something that defines our weaknesses. But what if I told you that failure is not the enemy? In fact, failure is your greatest teacher, your most valuable tool for growth. Think about this. Every time you fail, you learn something. Every setback teaches you a lesson that success never could. Success can make you complacent, make you believe that you've arrived. But failure forces you to look at yourself honestly. It pushes you to dig deeper, work harder, and reach for more than you ever thought you were capable of. The truth is, you cannot grow without failure. If you're not failing, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. You're staying in your comfort zone where it's safe, where you know the outcome before you even begin. But real growth happens at the edge of your abilities. It happens when you step into the unknown and take risks, even if those risks lead to failure. This is what it means to fall forward. When you fail, don't let it stop you. Don't let it crush your spirit or define your worth. Instead, use it as a stepping stone. Learn from it, adapt, and move forward. Every failure brings you one step closer to success. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they can count, but the difference is they didn't let those failures break them. They used them to build a stronger foundation. Falling forward means accepting that failure is part of the journey. It's part of the process of becoming who you're meant to be. You can't avoid it, so why fear it? Instead, embrace it. See it for what it is, a necessary part of your path to greatness. Let me ask you this, how many times have you avoided taking a risk because you were afraid to fail? How many opportunities have you passed up because you didn't want to deal with the possibility of falling short? The fear of failure is a prison. It keeps you locked in a place of safety, but it also keeps you from growing. It keeps you from growing. It keeps you from discovering what you're truly capable of. Here's the reality: failure is inevitable. You will fail, you will fail, you will fall. But that's not what matters. What matters is what you do after you fall. Will you stay down, or will you get back up, dust yourself off, and try again? Falling forward means making the decision to get up every single time, no matter how many times you fall. Think of failure like a test. Each time you fail, you're being tested. Tested on your resilience, your determination, your willingness to keep going when things get tough. Are you going to pass the test, or are you going to let failure defeat you? The people who succeed are the ones who understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the journey to success. They don't let their mistakes define them, they let their response to those mistakes define them. They keep moving forward no matter what. They fall, but they fall forward. So the next time you fail, remember this, it's not the end of the road. It's not a signal that you're not good enough. It's simply a lesson, a stepping stone, a part of your growth. Each time you fall forward, you get a little closer to your goal, a little stronger, a little wiser. Failure doesn't break you, it builds you. It gives you the tools you need to succeed. It teaches you what you're capable of when the odds are against you. And most importantly, it shows you that you're stronger than you ever thought possible. So don't fear failure. Embrace it, chase it, seek it out, because every time you fail, you grow. Every time you fall, you have the chance to rise higher than before. And that's what falling forward is all about, using failure as a launching pad, not a limitation. Your journey is not defined by how many times you fall. It's defined by how many times you get back up, stronger, smarter, and more determined than before. Fall forward. Let failure be your fuel. And remember, every time you fall, you're one step closer to the person you're meant to become. Discipline over motivation, the path to mastery. Motivation. It's the spark that ignites the fire within you, the surge of energy that pushes you to take that first step toward your goals. We all know the feeling when you're inspired, energized, and ready to conquer the world. But here's the truth that no one talks about: motivation fades. It's temporary. It's unreliable. What happens when you wake up and the motivation isn't there? What happens when that fire you felt yesterday is nowhere to be found today? This is where most people give up. They wait for motivation to return, thinking that without it, they can't move forward. But this is the difference between people who dream of success and those who actually achieve it. Success doesn't come from fleeting moments of inspiration. It comes from discipline. Discipline is the difference maker. Discipline is what kicks in when motivation fails you. It's the quiet force that keeps you moving forward, even when you don't feel like it. It's the habit of doing what needs to be done, no matter how hard, no matter how uninspired you feel. The reality is, if you rely on motivation alone, you will never reach your full potential. Motivation will come and go, but discipline will carry you through the days when motivation is nowhere in sight. Discipline is what makes you get up at 5 a.m. to work on your goals when everyone else is still asleep. It's what keeps you practicing your craft long after the excitement has worn off. It's what turns effort into results. You have to understand that discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And just like building physical strength, building discipline takes time. It's uncomfortable. It's difficult. But it's necessary. Because when discipline becomes a habit, it no longer feels like a struggle. It becomes part of who you are. Think about this. The most successful people in the world are not always the most motivated, but they are the most disciplined. They understand that showing up consistently, even on the days when they don't want to, is the key to mastery. They don't wait for the right mood or the perfect circumstances. They take action day in and day out because they know that progress is born from discipline, not motivation. Ask yourself, how many times have you started something with great enthusiasm only to abandon it when the excitement wore off? Maybe it was a new workout routine, a project, or a personal goal. The initial burst of motivation felt great, but as soon as it faded, so did your commitment. This is what separates those who achieve extraordinary things from those who settle for mediocrity. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired, if it's raining outside, or if you'd rather stay in bed. Discipline says do it anyway. It's about showing up for yourself, even when no one else is watching. It's about holding yourself accountable, even when you don't feel inspired. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what will carry you through the finish line. Discipline is what makes the difference on the days when your mind is telling you to quit, but your heart knows you can't afford to stop. Because real success isn't about doing what's easy, it's about doing what's necessary, even when it's hard. Look at any successful person, and you will see someone who has mastered the art of discipline. They know that mastery, greatness, and success are not the result of short bursts of motivation. They are the result of years of hard work, consistency, and relentless discipline. So the next time you don't feel like doing the work, remind yourself that discipline is more powerful than motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go. But discipline is a choice. It's a commitment to yourself and your goals. It's a promise that no matter how tough it gets, you will keep going. Success doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your mood. It only responds to action. And action, day after day, is fueled by discipline. You don't need to be motivated every day. You just need to be disciplined. Because in the end, the person who shows up consistently, who puts in the work every single day, is the person who wins. Master discipline, and you will master yourself. And when you master yourself, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Silence the noise focusing on inner work. In today's world, there's no shortage of noise. Everywhere you turn, there's someone telling you what to do, how to think, who you should be. Social media screams for your attention. Critics offer their unsolicited opinions, and distractions are endless. It's easy to get caught up in all of it, easy to lose yourself in the constant buzz. But if you want to grow, if you truly want to fix your life, there's one thing you must learn to do: silence the noise. The noise around you is relentless, but what's worse is the noise inside you, the doubt, the fear, the insecurities, those voices that tell you you're not good enough or you'll never make it. They're louder than any external critic and more damaging than any setback. And until you learn to quiet that noise, you'll remain stuck, paralyzed by the weight of your own thoughts. The truth is, the only way to truly improve, to transform your life, is to turn down the volume on the world and turn up the volume on your inner work. Growth doesn't happen in the chaos, it happens in the quiet. It happens when you can step back from all the distractions, all the opinions, and focus on what really matters you. You cannot fix yourself if you're constantly tuned into the wrong frequencies. You cannot grow if you're always listening to the voices telling you what you should be instead of discovering who you are. Real change, the kind that sticks, comes from within. It comes from deep self-reflection, from asking the hard questions, and from doing the inner work that nobody else sees. Here's the challenge: silence is uncomfortable. Most people avoid it because in silence, you're forced to face yourself. There's no escaping your flaws, your failures, or your fears, but that's where the magic happens. That's where growth begins, when you can sit with yourself in silence and confront the things you've been running from. You open the door to real transformation. Think about it. How often do you take time to simply be with your own thoughts? No distractions, no social media, no external noise, just you and your mind. For most people, the answer is rarely, if ever. But this is exactly where the work begins. In the stillness, in the moments when you allow yourself to listen to your own voice, your true voice, not the one shaped by others' expectations. Silencing the noise doesn't mean shutting out the world completely. It means knowing when to step back. It means prioritizing your inner work over the external chaos. It means understanding that the most important opinions about your life are the ones you hold about yourself. External validation is fleeting. 1 minute people are cheering for you, and the next they're tearing you down. But when you focus on inner work, when you silence the noise and start fixing what's inside, you become unshakable. You don't need the world's approval because you've already given it to yourself. Inner work is about confronting your fears, healing old wounds, and nurturing your growth. It's about becoming self-aware, understanding why you think the way you do, why you react to certain situations, and how your past is shaping your present. It's about breaking free from limiting beliefs and toxic patterns that are holding you back. Most importantly, inner work is about choice. It's about choosing who you want to become and then doing the hard work to get there. It's about consciously shaping your thoughts, your habits, and your mindset to align with the future you want to create. The world will always be loud. There will always be critics, distractions, and noise trying to pull you off course. But the key to fixing yourself lies in your ability to rise above it, to tune into yourself, trust your journey, and focus on the only thing you can truly control: yourself. When you master the art of silencing the noise, you unlock a new level of growth. You stop being swayed by the opinions of others. You stop letting distractions dictate your actions, and you start living from a place of purpose, intention, and clarity. The road to success isn't paved by external approval. It's built through inner strength, inner peace, and a relentless focus on your personal growth. So ask yourself, are you ready to silence the noise and listen to what really matters? Because the answers you're looking for aren't out there. They're within you, waiting to be uncovered. Own your time, mastering the art of focus. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever have. It's the one thing you can never get back, and yet it's the thing most people waste without a second thought. Think about how much time you spend scrolling through your phone, sitting in front of the TV, or worrying about things you can't control. Now, imagine what your life would look like if you used that time differently, if you owned your time instead of letting it slip away. Here's a hard truth: how you spend your time is a direct reflection of what you value. If you're not where you want to be in life, take a look at how you're spending your days. Are you focused on your goals, or are you letting distractions steal your time? Are you building the future you want, or are you settling into the comfort of wasted hours? To truly fix your life, you must first fix your relationship with time. Every minute you spend is a choice whether to move forward, stay stagnant, or fall behind. Success, growth, and achievement are built on how well you manage this priceless resource. The people who achieve greatness aren't the ones who have more time than the rest of us. They're the ones who master their time, who guard it like the treasure it is. The problem is, in today's world, distractions are everywhere. We live in an age where our attention is constantly pulled in 100 different directions. But if you want to fix yourself, you have to become a master of focus. You have to learn how to block out the noise and zero in on what truly matters. This is what separates the average from the extraordinary focus. Most people spend their lives multitasking, jumping from one thing to another, never giving their full attention to anything. But the people who rise to the top understand that deep focus is where the magic happens. They know that real progress comes from putting all your energy into one thing at a time and seeing it through to completion. Ask yourself how much of your day is spent in focused, intentional work. How often do you sit down with a single goal in mind and work on it without distraction? If you're like most people, the answer is probably not enough. But the good news is, focus is a skill, and like any skill, it can be developed. Start by taking ownership of your time. Get clear on your priorities. What are the things that will move you closer to your goals? What are the activities that truly matter in your life? Then, ruthlessly cut out everything that doesn't align with those priorities. Social media, mindless TV, endless notifications, these are the things that steal your time and ultimately your life. The key is not to manage your time, but to master it. It's about controlling where your attention goes and ensuring that your focus is aligned with your goals. Every time you choose to focus on something that doesn't serve your growth, you're taking time away from what could have been spent building your future. This is where discipline comes in. We talked about discipline earlier, and this is one of its most crucial applications. Discipline in how you spend your time. Discipline in choosing focus over distraction. Discipline in saying no to the things that don't matter so you can say yes to the things that do. And let's be real, focus isn't easy. It's a battle. In a world that's constantly competing for your attention, it takes serious effort to stay locked in on your goals. But that's exactly why it's so powerful. Most people aren't willing to do it. Most people let their time slip through their fingers, wasting it on things that bring no value to their lives. But you're not most people. You're here because you want to fix yourself, because you want to grow, because you want to achieve something bigger. And to do that, you need to own your time like your life depends on it, because it does. You only get 24 hours in a day. You only get one shot at this life. The time you spend today is gone forever. So ask yourself, what are you going to do with the time you have left? Will you let distractions continue to rob you of your potential, or will you take control of your time and focus on what truly matters? The choice is yours. Own your time, master your focus, and watch how your life transforms. Because when you learn to control your time, you learn to control your destiny. The power of persistence keeps pushing through the struggle. We all love the idea of overnight success, the notion that one day everything will magically fall into place and all our dreams will come true without struggle. But the truth is, success doesn't happen overnight. It's not a sudden event, it's a process, a journey filled with setbacks, obstacles, and countless moments where you'll want to give up. And the key to getting through that journey? Persistence. You see, life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your way, challenge your resolve, and push you to the edge of your limits. Most people see these challenges and decide it's too hard, that they weren't meant for greatness after all. But those who understand the power of persistence know that every challenge, every struggle is an opportunity to grow stronger. Persistence is not about never facing difficulties, it's about refusing to be defeated by them. It's about getting knocked down 10 times and getting back up 11. It's about seeing failure not as the end of the road, but as a stepping stone on the path to success. It's about understanding that the struggle is part of the process and that the process is what makes you stronger. Think about it. How many people start something, whether it's a business, a fitness goal, or a personal project, only to quit as soon as things get tough? They hit a roadblock and decide that the road isn't for them. But the truth is, the road is only tough because that's how you grow. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But it's not easy, and that's why persistence matters. Persistence isn't glamorous. It's not the kind of thing that gets talked about in motivational speeches or highlighted in success stories. But it's the secret ingredient that separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's the quiet, unrelenting force that keeps you moving forward when every part of you wants to stop. The reality is, you will face setbacks, you will experience failure, you will encounter moments when it feels like nothing is working, when it feels like the universe is conspiring against you. But those moments are where your true character is tested. Those are the moments that define whether you succeed or whether you give up. Success doesn't come to the smartest or the most talented. It comes to those who refuse to quit. It comes to those who show up every day, put in the work, and keep going, no matter how hard it gets. That's the power of persistence. When you're in the midst of a struggle, it's easy to feel like you're stuck, like you're not making any progress. But persistence isn't about immediate results. It's about staying the course, trusting the process, and knowing that every small step forward is a step in the right direction. Over time, those small steps add up. And one day you'll look back and realize that the thing you thought was impossible was only one more push away. So how do you cultivate persistence? First, you need a why. You need a reason that's bigger than the obstacles in front of you. When your reason for pushing forward is stronger than the discomfort of the struggle, you'll find the strength to keep going. Your why is the fire that fuels your persistence. It's what keeps you moving forward when every other reason tells you to stop. Next, you have to embrace the struggle. Understand that every challenge, every setback is an opportunity to grow. The struggle is not there to stop you, it's there to make you stronger. It's testing your resolve, seeing how bad you really want it. If you can embrace the struggle, you'll find that it no longer feels like something to avoid, but something to conquer. Persistence also requires patience. We live in a world that values instant gratification, but real success takes time. It takes years of hard work, dedication, and persistence. Don't expect overnight results. Trust the process. Know that every day you keep pushing is another day closer to your goal. Finally, persistence is about mindset. It's about believing that you can, even when everything around you says you can't. It's about developing a mindset that says, I will find a way instead of, it's too hard. It's about choosing to be resilient, to adapt, to pivot, but never to quit. Remember, there's nothing worth having comes without a struggle. But if you keep pushing, keep moving, and stay persistent, you will achieve what you set out to do. The road will be tough, but it will be worth it. Every struggle, every obstacle, every failure will make the victory that much sweeter. So the next time you feel like giving up, remind yourself of this: persistence is the key. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up. Keep pushing, keep fighting, keep going. Because the only way to truly fail is to quit, and you are stronger than that. Your journey starts now. The power is within you. Now, take a moment and think about where you stand. Think about the goals you've set, the dreams you've imagined, and the version of yourself you aspire to become. It may feel far off. It may seem like a distant reality. But here's what you need to understand. Everything you want, everything you're striving for is already within your reach. You are not waiting for the right moment. You are not waiting for a stroke of luck. You are not waiting for someone to open the door for you. No, you are the one who holds the key.